cool lives and creativity thrives. It's the I'm Me podcast, your front row pass to independent music, movies, and unforgettable moments. Hosted by the man who loves to keep it fresh, Dave.
Welcome to IMME, Independent Music, Movies, and Entertainment. Find the show on Facebook, IMME, Independent Music, Movies, and Entertainment. Type it in and make sure you follow what is going on. And we're also all over social media. Olivia, usually is here with me, is not here on these new shows. She will definitely be back with us next time around. When we're back in to do some more stuff once again and something like that. I do want to thank our sponsors, The Beauty Bar in DeForest, Wisconsin, 608-842-0667. The Beauty Bar, DeForest.com is the website. Horns and Halos Films, Banjo coming soon to a theater near you. And hornsandhalosfilms.com is the website to find out what's going on for all the updates on Banjo. And where we're recording at, it's probably one of the best, incredible, awesome recording studios I think I've ever seen in my entire career. You know, bands, anybody you want to record here, contact Sounds Studios. 573-979-7137. Soundsstudios.com is the website to check out what is going on. And I do want to mention, I forgot, they do have a studio in Nashville as well. So either or. And finally, all music, liners, everything all done by my good friend Matt Irwin Music, based out in Nashville, Tennessee. So thank you, Matt, for always taking care of me. Well, I hope you liked the first part of the interview we did with Charlie Painter. It was in Madison, Wisconsin. Had a chance. My friend Angela, who's another DJ and part of the show, we both had a chance to sit down and talk with him. It was a blast. Had some great food. It was really a lot of fun, minus my little mishaps up there, which, again, someday I may share with you, possibly. Charlie Painter, once again, a self-taught jazz guitarist. He's a teacher. He's based in Madison. He's been active in the Madison music scene for a long time. He's won two-time Madison Area Music Association awards, winner of Best Jazz Group and Best Jazz Album. He's played in festivals. I forgot to mention to you previously that he was mentored by New York City jazz guitarist Jordan Clemens since 2020. And he teaches, he does everything. A phenomenal musician. So if you're in Madison or have a chance to check him out, make sure you go see him perform. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the part two of this with a couple of more songs from him and a secondary interview. We just couldn't get enough of Charlie. Angela decided to sit down and have a little private time with him to talk about stuff. Get your minds out of the gutter, guys. She sit down talking more about his musical career, what's been going on with him. I want you guys to check out the Good Life and Timeline Radio edits and enjoy part two of the Charlie Painter interview on IMME. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Alright, it's road trip time, people. Who's got the checklist? Alright, gas check, snacks check, map check. We need some DJs. Olivia, Angela, you got this in the back seat? Check. Mics check, recording jig, check. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Wait, where's Dave? Get in, Dave. Me. Independent music, movies, and entertainment. We're hitting the road.
Again, we're doing the IMME interview. Sorry, I'm having trouble with I am having so many trouble with words today. If I can get a sentence out, it's going to be a miracle.
I'm me. Oh, that's easy for me to remember.
Yeah.
Just say that.
Independent music, movies, and entertainment is what we are doing. So, as we were speaking about the last time we talked, when COVID hit and you couldn't play in venues and how much that was an issue. So being in front of an audience is obviously where it's at rather than just recording and sending out CDs. And you've had different people play with you over the different times I've seen you play.
Yeah.
And how does that work out? I mean, they're all excellent. Don't misunderstand that statement. But how do you decide who gets to play with you at whatever it is you're doing?
Well, the short answer is whoever texts me back or calls me back.
Okay. Who's ever first on the lift?
Yeah, one of the residencies I had for 9 years. I made a list when they changed hands. I made a list. I tried to make a mental list of all the people who had played with me there over the 9 years, and it was like in the 30s.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So yeah,
that's very cool. Have you ever had two people that play the same instrument get back to you at the same time? And then what do you do? Draw straws?
Fortunately, it's always by a couple minute difference or so, and
Okay.
I can say, well, they got to me first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So playing live is actually really nice though, because you get to be in with the people and feel what they're feeling with the music.
Yeah, we synchronize in some way.
Yeah.
And it's therapy for me,
See?
playing music.
I think music is therapy for everybody, or if it's not, it should be.
Uh-huh.
So that's very interesting. I did ask you a question after we stopped recording last time, and I am curious. Musical influence is subjective, not objective. At least that's what I think, because every person has a view of what has made the most difference in them or in music. So who do you see has made the biggest difference to you in music? I mean, who's been the biggest influence on you? I guess that's my question.
Miles Davis is pretty big.
Okay.
Because, well, he helped created like 4 types of jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Through the decades. He kept redefining like the horn, his instrument, and the way it's approached, and things like composition and the role of composition in the band, and
Okay.
it's amazing. Yeah.
Okay. Now you mostly play the guitar, but can you play all the other instruments?
Oh, I wish I had taken drums. That would have been really helpful, especially for the music that we play, because America's bass, I say America's plural, like bass music, it seems like, versus like classical types of music, is based on the rhythm. It's based on the percussion and the rhythm section. So like the bass and stuff versus like classical music and stuff like that is usually based totally around the melody or whatever. So, yeah, it would help if I could play them all. But yeah, I can play a little bass. But
Okay.
you probably wouldn't want to hire me for a 3-hour bass gig, though.
That would go south quickly, would it?
I think my hand would get sore more than that, or yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot to do on the bass. So you teach guitar only then?
Guitar and bass. I can
Okay.
teach bass.
You
Yeah.
teach it, but you can't play it.
I understand the role of it very well, and I know how to read bass clef and all that. And I can play a little, but it's more like the strength, the hand strength, because the
yeah.
strings are twice as thick.
Yeah.
And so my arm and my hand will start getting sore just because I don't have the training on it, like
Okay,
the
yeah.
stamina on the instrument. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And how many students do you teach at a time?
Oh, just one at a time.
I mean, how many do you have that you do one at a time with?
Sure. God, probably close to probably 16 now. I think up to 16.
Okay. That must take a lot of your time.
Yeah. Probably 4 of them are bi-weekly. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And are they all pretty good? I mean, have you had a student come in who's new to the instrument but has that natural talent or innateness that, like, picks it up, like, here we go, let's go right now and let's move on to the next lesson?
Yeah. I've had a couple who were better kind of right away in the first couple months than I was, like probably the first couple years that I had been playing, and yeah, it's incredible. They're all over the board. You know, like absolute beginner, an age too. You know, from as young as 8 years old, picking up their first instrument, to veterans from foreign wars who are in their like 70s and even up to 80. I teach, and everybody improves. It's awesome.
Do you find it's easier to teach the younger? Because they say, like, when you're learning a language, like, say you want to take a foreign language, it's easier to learn as a child than as an adult because your brain is able to grasp it better. Do you find the same in teaching an instrument?
It's a good question. A lot of younger people nowadays, I don't know if it's just nowadays, but they seem to have a hard time like focusing and paying attention. And music is requires a lot of patience.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that music has kind of taught me. And so some of them pick up certain things, and then the things that they really need to work on, it can sometimes be a challenge to work with them, because a lot of young people have ADD or some variant of that nowadays, it seems like. And so
I think all of us are a tiny bit ADD somehow in the world.
yeah, and just other types of, and I think education, this is a whole nother rabbit hole, but
Yeah.
I think education has changed to cater to people who have a harder time learning, and to kind of make things easier for them than versus trying to lift everybody up to a certain level.
Right.
And so I think it's kind of lowered the average.
Lowered the bar for learning.
At least that's what I've observed, and that may not be true everywhere. But yeah.
No, I've actually seen that in some interactions with people. The bar has been lowered, like in sporting events there used to be a first and a second place, and now everybody gets a medal. Well, what the hell good is that?
Also
That
gender.
doesn't teach anything.
Also, gender difference is another rabbit hole to go down, but there's totally a difference. I've taught hundreds of people, so I could say this. Girls, no problem reading the notes. They learn the damn notes, and they perform, and they do it, and they good at memorizing and mimicking and copying what I show and what I do. The boys, they're always trying to find shortcuts.
Oh, of course.
They're always trying to find ways to not do it. It's kind of like a lazy. They kind of like fall on the lazy side.
Yep.
And they're the ones who are like writing the names of the notes above and trying to figure out ways to not learn how to read sheet music. And I tell them, I'm like, I know what you're doing. You're memorizing it. It's not going to work.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
No, I took
so-
clarinet and violin, and I probably would have been better had I actually practiced. See, that was my problem. I was okay when I was doing it, but I just didn't care enough to put in the time to practice, which made my mother very sad because she played clarinet in high school.
Oh, there's that extra expectation.
Yeah, oh yeah, there was huge extra expectation with that, and she was not real happy when I stopped. So yeah, did you take music in school when you were in high school and stuff?
I was in choir.
Okay.
In high school, I really loved it. I got a solo. I even had a solo on One Tin Soldier.
Oh, nice.
That was fun. I was in the handbell choir. I also really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I couldn't read music in either of these, so I brought out the highlighters, the different colors
Yeah.
for which bell I'm supposed to ring. They make you in charge of like 3 or 4 bells. That was fun. And I tried to play a little trombone again with highlighters in the ensemble, and I kind of would look at the trumpets and look at the other section.
Okay.
I had other ways of kind of knowing when to come in because I couldn't look at the music and count all the measures and keep up. Again, attention. That's a lot of concentration to sit and look at a bunch of rests. You've got like 60 measures of rest or whatever.
Yeah.
Are you really going to sit there and count and...
Yeah, but isn't that when you're supposed to be looking at the conductor who's going to tell you when to come in?
That's it too. Yes, yes. Yeah.
See, that was the one thing I could never get, even when I did choir and band, is I was trying to read the music so I could pay attention to where we're supposed to be, but actually you're supposed to be looking at the conductor as well.
Yes, right.
And dividing your attention so that you can see, now it's your turn, now you play, now you put your mouth in that instrument and do what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That is a big thing. That's really cool. Oh, let's see, what else was I going to ask you? Yeah, music is really important. I think everybody should have music. So you had mentioned that you had done a cover band. So obviously you grew up on mainstream music. I say that because most people don't consider jazz mainstream when it should be, because it is the foundation of a lot of music culture in this country.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you grew up. So who were you listening to when you were little?
Mostly good stuff.
Okay, define good stuff. Let's go there. It's again subjective.
Yeah, like my mom and my dad listened to like the Allman Brothers Band.
Oh, that's good music. Yeah.
My mom, and to this day, still like James Taylor.
Okay.
I grew up on that, and I personally love. That's like a karaoke go-to for me.
Okay.
And my singing range is in his range, so it's pretty easy to do. Yeah, it's kind of a lot of that smooth stuff, like the late 70s, like Doobie Brothers, Bread, stuff like that. And then after my mom left my dad, she kind of went off on her own thing, and there was a lot of like Michael Bolton and Mariah Carey there in the 90s, right?
Yep. That's a big thing.
But then my mom also had like Chopin and
all the good stuff.
Mozart actually as well.
Yes.
So the greatest hits. So so it was a good blend, I'd say.
That is a good blend. If there was one musician that in all of time that you could sit down and play with, who would it be? Just one.
Yeah. Well, as a guitar player, maybe Frank Zappa.
Oh, there you go.
As a just musician, like the whole, like in the whole large.
Yeah, picture.
As a jazz, more of a jazz musician, I would say probably Miles. I'd love to audition for one of his groups if I could go back in time, and even if I was rejected, I would love to audition for one of his groups and see.
That would be cool.
If someone else in the band liked me, even if he didn't like me.
Just to see. There's a lot that goes into though when you audition for somebody else, isn't there?
Well, with Frank. So with Frank and Miles, I'll keep that going. With Frank, he would make you like practice and play this nearly impossible passage, like a classical. He's kind of more in that way, like Stravinsky. He's very.
Oh, good Lord! Okay.
So he would make you like play his hardest guitar solo by memory or something. That would be his assignment to audition. And then with Miles, he would just sit you in a room full of guys and wouldn't tell you anything. And would just say, play in the key of D or something. And then he would walk away and then criticize, what you did. So
that's so funny. Yeah. That would be entertaining. No, there was something I was going to ask. Now it just literally went out my head. What was it? I don't remember. I'm so sad. See, this is the language problem today. It's been a rough morning. Yeah, so we talked about the different, oh crap, oh darn it, and I'm so sad if I don't get to ask this, as I don't remember.
Oh, I'm sure you have a treasure trove of questions.
Oh, I'm sure I have, somewhere. Maybe we can find them someday. Let's see, we talked, so Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. This was it. When you're writing your own music, okay, so you write for, your own pieces, you're able to write for the drum and the bass at the same time? Or how does that work? Walk me through that. Because, again, as with writing a book or writing a movie or writing music, where does one begin? I mean, how do you know what to put on paper first?
Generally, my part is the most complicated part when I'm writing, and the part that, like, I have to be the most happy with first, right?
Okay.
And then in my mind, I can kind of hear what the bass is supposed to be playing in the drum, or like what their role is. Mm-hmm. And I'm not tyrannical. I give them a lot of freedom still, but I have a general idea of what they should be doing. Mm-hmm. Like for example, whether the bass should be like walking out the melody or just playing long tones, or a bow thing, like those types of things. I kind of have ideas. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, the musicians, one thing I love about playing with all these musicians is they surprise me all the time.
Oh, that's
nice. They try different things, on me. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I love when you did that. Do that. You can do that again. That was really good.
Right. Yeah.
Or no one's ever thought to do that before on that. Or
just kind of bring your own something to the piece that you're playing.
That's what I love about jazz in general, is that it's more about the player. It's more about the people that night that are playing that night versus what the composer had in mind 200 years ago.
When they wrote it.
Who passed away, 200 years ago or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I had heard somewhere one of Beethoven's songs was not written for a 120-piece orchestra. So when the 120-piece orchestra plays it, they change the tone, the speed of the music. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember which piece it was of his, but I thought that was very fascinating because I had never heard that before. And I wish I could remember what music it was, but it was designed for a very small, intimate group of people to play. And now when people play Beethoven, they play 120-piece orchestra, and they change I guess what I would call it, the meaning of the song when they have to speed it up or slow it down, slow it down. That's what they do. They slow it down to make sure that everybody gets to play. And apparently it's supposed to be played twice as fast as they're playing it, which I thought was interesting.
So I'm actually kind of topically, I'm working on taking a Maurice Ravel, his most common work, Bolero it's called.
Okay.
And it was written for a ballet, and it was like in 1927 or 28.
Oh, wow.
And it's his most known piece, even though he says there's like little music in it or no music in it, he said. Because it's a repetitive thing. It has this repetitive two-bar drum pattern that repeats like 169 times.
Oh my gosh.
And this 18-bar theme, two 18-bar themes that just repeat over and over and over again. And it's 16 minutes long.
Oh my God.
And it's over just like a bass pedal, like playing C, C, C over and over again. It's melody. Gosh. But it's a cool melody. And so I had the idea, I heard it on the radio the other day, and I'm like, okay, so I want to liberate the rhythm of this and have a swing thing over it. It's still in 3, it's in 3/4, but have it with a swung. Mm-hmm. Turn the 16th notes into 8th notes so we can swing over it, swing the 8th notes and have it be more of a jazz thing. And then I'm going to write chord changes over it that are cyclical and hypnotic, just like his composition, but that have more colors. And I'm going to put it in a minor key.
Oh, that sounds like it'll be very interesting.
So, but people will recognize that because I'm not touching the melody. The melody is going to be, and it's in this. I know you've heard this song before. Everybody has heard this song before. And it's super like just repetitive and hypnotic and cyclical. So this somehow relates to your question, though. I got to go back to your question. Oh yeah, you were talking about the tempo.
Yeah.
So when it premiered, Toscanini was conducting it, and Ravel was in the audience, and he was worried about it speeding up.
Right.
Because he wants it to be like 60-something beats per minute for this whole 60, 169, 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Uh-huh. And he was worried that it was going to speed up, and it sped up just a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
And he goes up to Toscanini, pulls on his arm, tugs on his arm, and he refused to bow at the standing ovation at the premiere of this thing.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
So that's how far picky you can be, which is more classical versus more jazz. And it's like, hey, that night the guys were really on, or that night the guy had a headache, or that night, I wasn't feeling it as much, or, whatever.
Yeah, and we talked the other day about being able to take a mainstream song and turn it into a jazz song. But could you turn a jazz song into a mainstream song? I mean, can you do back and forth?
Oh, absolutely. You would you'd have to simplify elements of it, make it repetitive, right? And you'd have to shorten it, and you'd probably have to either get rid of the solos entirely and keep the themes,
right?
Or just have like an 8-bar solo and that's it, and you get out.
Yeah.
So we don't get to actually develop anything.
Yeah.
And then you get pop music.
Yeah.
It's like a couple ideas,
that
are very short in length and not a lot of development, not a lot of expression or improvisation.
Right.
And then we get out.
Yeah, no. I do like listening to jazz music. I know that it's great to listen to when going to sleep at night because the pieces are so extraordinary. And it's so, to me, jazz music is very hypnotic. Not in a bad way, but you can move to the music, and it's I don't know, it's so relaxing. I think that's what I would call it. It's very relaxing to me. I don't know how other people feel, but that's how I see it. It's definitely when you want to relax, or if I'm having a bad day and need to decompress, and all the normal things that I try to do not work. Okay, we're gonna go find some jazz music, and we're just gonna shut off the fucking world and just go. I don't know. It's a thing that I use when I have high stress sometimes. But I do like listening to it just any time. Is amazing to listen to. But again, there's something that's so beautiful about it in the way it's almost like it speaks to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I think it tells a story.
It does.
It's about the individual.
Yeah.
And so there are parts you can relate to someone, like when they're telling their own personal story. There are parts you can relate to it and that you identify with, and I think that's also true of music.
Yeah. And that's very nice. Very, very nice. Well, I don't think I can come up with any more questions in the moment, but it's been amazing just sitting down and being able to talk to you today and yesterday, and even though not all of it's been recorded and we just have regular other conversations about other things, it's nice. And I think that's, it's nice to be able to hear what you have to say and learn a little bit more about what motivates you to write your songs and do your thing. I think it's amazing. So I want to thank you again for your time. Everybody, Charlie Painter. And tell us how to find you again.
Thanks a lot. You can find me on YouTube, Charlie Painter Music. There might be an underscore in there. Charlie Painter. I don't know if it's the Instagram or the YouTube. I get them confused, but Charlie Painter Music. You'll find it.
Yeah.
And then for, booking lessons or to listen to some recordings, you can also go to my website, charliepainter.com.
Yahoo. Well, thank you.
Thanks for listening to the I'm Me podcast, brought to you by The Beauty Bar, Hair, Nails, and Cocktails. Call 608-842-0667 to book your appointment, or find them on the web at thebeautybardeforest.com. Horns and Halos Films. Look out for their next new indie thriller, Banjo, coming to a screen near you. Thanks for listening, and keep supporting independent artists.